check something here. Oh, you are quite resourceful. We do have a bit of knowledge that might make them quite opportune for you to invest in now. So would you care to take a look? Perfect. Well, I'll go ahead. Hey, Paul, can you pull that Penske file for me when you get a chance? Thanks. It's that previous intern was supposed to handle that, but looks like they didn't get too far. Just leave it on my desk. I'll take care of it. By the way, did anyone ever find out what happened to that intern? That's a shame. Well, keep me updated if there's a break in the case. Old friend, welcome. You are someone that I'm always thrilled to see come through my doors. Please, have a seat, have a seat. You can put your briefcase there to the side. Can I get you a bit of water before we begin? Great. Well, don't mind if I get a bit for myself as well. I am used to business meetings between the two of us, lasting quite a while. You usually have quite the extensive business to partake in and financially lucrative deals to close. That's great, that's great. Well, tell me, it's been, what, about a year since you opened your account here with us at Overworld Financials? That's right, that's right. Well, I must say I was thrilled that you chose me as your Chief Financial and Investment Officer, but I can't say I was too surprised. I'm one of the top associates here at Overworld Financials, so I thought the partnership was fitting, to say the least. So let's just get a bit of water here for the two of us, and we'll get started with that file. There we are, and here, I'll use this glass. Enjoy. Now, let me go ahead and close out of this previous spreadsheet. We wouldn't want to incriminate ourselves by sharing some of the personal details of our other clients. We do serve a rather elite group of clientele. All right, and there we are. Now, could you please give me your personal credentials again? It's security reasons, you understand. Thank you, and there we are. All right, we have your file pulled up. Let me just update a few items here. Have you had any updates to things like major capital assets acquired, such as property, other real estate dealings, such as commercial or residential rentals? We have large luxury vehicles, anything like that. You did just purchase a new home. Excellent. All right, so where was this home purchased? In the Twin Biomes estate. Great. That's quite a high value property area. I hope to land my own property in that area at some point, but serving people like you is a bit of motivation. People like me need to really make it to the next level. One could always be richer. All right. And what is the exact address? No, my apologies. I forget that classical properties are just listed by estate name. So please, estate name. Cobalt Castle. All right. Wow. Even for the properties that I'm used to seeing here, this is quite beautiful. Just please indulge me here. Is that a private garden? Excellent, excellent. It says 2 balconies, a rooftop patio. My, you've really outdone yourself this time. Please, pardon my joke, but how did a nitwit like you get so tasteful? Well, like I said, motivation for us lowly associates here. Alright, I'll get that updated into your personal account. Alright, will you be taking advantage of some very delicately applied tax financial loopholes to maximize and minimize your tax burden? You will, I thought so. You always have the tricks up your sleeve necessary to maximize the efficiency and value potential of your properties. Impressive. Alright, well, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at your portfolio summary, shall we? Excellent. And one thing that I do want to... One moment. One thing that I do want to give you a preview of. I thought that due to your call yesterday that you would be coming in. Of course, we know that you get quite busy and sometimes schedules need to be moved around, but I went ahead and prepared a personal file just in case you did come through these doors today, which of course you have. This here is, well, I've collected some, I think, rather intriguing investment opportunities that I think you might be interested in. They are from a variety of sectors, like I know you like to diversify in, and have a range of risk, but very, let's just say, lucrative potential. Right. Well, we will go through these financial opportunities and investment potential right after we go through your portfolio summary. Great. Please tell me about your travels in. You do oftentimes have some of the best travel stories. Oh, come on, I know you have something that crossed your path. I knew it. How many were there? Really? And how'd you get so many villagers to just up and move? Well, the classic biohazard trick. Excellent. And bought up all the properties. Perfect. How's the outlook on profitability? You never fail to amaze me. So let's get that portfolio summary opened up. You'll have to excuse me. I do have a plethora of files here. None as elite as yours, of course, but we do have to keep the higher tiered clients together. Just give me one moment. My apologies. Yes, Paul. Yes, just leave the Penske folder right there. I'll go over it after I'm done with our client here. My apologies. Paul can be quite irritating, even to the most patient of individuals. Where was that file? Paul must have been in this folder before me. Ah, there it is. There we are. And perfect. Now, before we take a look at this portfolio summary, here is a pen. I know how you like to take notes and follow along with some of the details and key highlighted areas of your portfolio, so allow me. And let's take a look. Now, as you can see, you have been investing with us for just over a year, so we have quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4 denoted here. That way you can see the trend and overall growth of your account. As you can see, this is where everyone likes to start. We like to see what percentage growth we've yielded over the previous year. Now, as you can see, we have a beautiful 8.5% growth, which is on the higher end of the average, so you've done quite well. Now, I have to commend you because you were actually the one that brought us these 3 initial investments with your opening of your account, so that's quite rare, and we don't often see individuals come through with a ready-made portfolio for us to take and invest into the individual stocks, bonds, and ETFs, things like that. Now, let's go over the individual funds and see how much each has yielded you. Of course, we have reinvested those dividends as per request. Now, you did start with a opening account balance of 50,000 emeralds. So as you can see here at the beginning of quarter 1, we do have that 50,000 total of emeralds there. We did then invest in 3 separate stocks. Your largest and most consequential stock that you have bought into was your Deepwater Mining Co. As you know, it's an offshore diamond mining operations. It's a bit of a controversial operation since it does destroy a lot of the offshore coral reefs and wildlife, things like that. But of course, we move some of those through some other names and other LLCs and corporations that you own. So it's just not tied to you directly, which is, let's just say, opportunistic for someone like you who also likes to dabble in the public eye. So you did buy in with 35 shares for a total of 35,000 emeralds. So as you can see, that 35,000 was the largest chunk of that initial 50,000 emerald investment. Next, and your second largest investment, was your Biome Logistics company. Now, this of course deals in the research and development of various biomes, of course in the long-term plan of developing them into commercial real estate and commercial opportunities, zoning, things like that. So you wisely invested in this company at 14 shares for a total of 10,000 emeralds. So your second largest chunk, but still very consequential. Your last stock that you invested in was your Regal Realty. And let me just actually double check something here. No, you are quite resourceful. I can see here that the realty agency that you used to purchase Cobalt Castle, and of course I'm sure the agency that is helping you work around some of those pesky property tax situations, happens to be Regal Realty, which just so happens to be one of your initial investments. So quite smart. We did invest 20 or buy into 25 shares at 5,000 emerald total. So those are your current holdings, and of course we can add any shares or purchase more shares or sell off some of those shares, whatever you would like. But since we are growing at a steady rate, I think that would be unwise. So we did have quite a jump from quarter 1 to quarter 4. It started off a bit slowly. We ended quarter 2 at 51,254 emeralds. We ended quarter 3 at 52,363 emeralds. And finally, we ended out the fiscal year, or finished up the fiscal year rather, at 54,250 emeralds for that 8.5% growth. So I must say you did quite well, and seeing as though I am your personal financial advisor, I also did quite well. So this partnership has already deemed itself beneficial for both parties. So is there anything that you would like to change with that current investment total? Would you like to buy any additional shares of any of those companies? No, that won't be a problem. Alright, so you would like to buy 10 additional shares in Deepwater Diamond Co. Excellent. So we have 10 additional shares. A market price, okay with you. Excellent. Those are running at a market price of 325 emeralds per share. All right, let me just lock that in. And please, that confirmation number once again. Perfect. Thank you. And there we are. We have that purchase locked in. Now, would you care to order any more shares or sell off any shares of any of your other holdings? Okay, you would also like an additional 10,000 in Regal Realty. Excellent. Let me just pull that up. Okay, and how many shares? It is trading at 158 emeralds per share. All right, you'd like to lock that in. Perfect. Thank you. Well, let's go ahead and get that back in your file. Of course, we will have that updated. And next time you come in, whether that might be tomorrow or in a year from now, that file will always be up to date. All right. Now, as promised, what's that? Oh, not a problem. I can get you that additional water here. Let me just get you that additional water refill. I might actually take some for myself here. Not a problem. Excellent. Please enjoy. All right. Now, as promised, I do have three very, in my opinion, tantalizing options for investment here. These are a mixture of low-cost, low or high-reward investments, as well as some investments that look like they might be a bit risky, but we do have a bit of knowledge that might make them quite opportune for you to invest in now. So would you care to take a look? Perfect. The first investment that I would like to show you is Woodworth Industries. Now, what's beneficial about this investment opportunity for you is Woodworth Industry is a green initiative company. Now, they specialize in planting and maintaining renewable resource fields for wood cutting and wood gathering. Now, since you are heavily invested in Regal Realty as well as biologistics, which both in tandem clear cut and prepare a large swath of land for commercial development, it would be beneficial to you to tie your name to a company that has a positive look or a positive viewpoint in the public eye. Now, of course, we will run your previous two investments through proxy companies, which won't be tied directly to your name, but people who don't like to dig very deep into these companies might eventually find your connection. But if, of course, we invest in this company and put your name in the front of the investment, this might catch the eye of most people who want to look into you and your business dealings. So this, I think, would be a nice distraction, of course. Now, it is a rather cheap investment, so that's the beautiful thing about this. You could invest and buy a large portion of this company without actually having to commit a large amount of funds. Their shares are trading at 1.07 emeralds, so I know, extremely cheap. Now, as you can see, we do have green trends, which someone like you loves to see. We have a 0.02% change and a 1.90 monthly increase. Excellent. I thought you might like that one. Now, how many shares would you like to purchase? And I can go ahead and look up some of that information. So it looks like if you did buy 2 2,000 shares, you would actually become the primary shareholder of that small company. So you would be tied to and considered the leader of this green initiative. Excellent, excellent. So we will go ahead and lock that in at 2,000. Confirmation code. Thank you. And that price and purchase is locked in. I will go ahead and get that added to your file here. A wise purchase, no doubt, and one that I think will pay off very quickly as soon as that, of course, hits the evening news, which we will have that pushed out as soon as this meeting conjoins. I'll make a note of that. Paul will go ahead and handle that, and hopefully that ends up as a highlighted news story, which would be great for your PR. Now, the second option for investment that I'd like to show you is a rather interesting one. Now, please, don't let the red numbers here discourage you. Just stay with me. This is Netherworks Technology. Now, of course, they are a research and development based company. They research into, of course, the Nether and trying to establish travel and teleportation points, and have thus far been quite unsuccessful, which is why you can see the red trends there. We do have a negative change and a 0.6% decrease over the previous month, which, albeit is a small decrease, but I know someone like you doesn't like to see red in any of their investment. Now, the share price is on the medium side, so we do have a share price of 262.15 emerald, but this is where things get interesting. I do have a bit of insider knowledge that they have just established, well, allegedly established a portal to the Nether itself. So this information is said to go public in, give or take, 1 to 2 weeks, and 3 weeks on the longer side of the time frame. But once this gets out, this share price is going to skyrocket. My thoughts exactly. So let me just pull up a bit of that information. Netherworks Technologies. All right. And how many shares would you like to buy into? All right, you'd like to lock in at 500 shares. That is quite wise. Confirmation number. Thank you. And we do have that locked in. Now, please, I don't think I need to remind someone of your stature what that information means to the market. So once you do see the story go public, then of course we will push out to the media your investment. It will look like you have seen a company who's just made a breakthrough and you would like to reward them with a substantial investment. Quite wise, quite smart. All right, let's take a look at that final investment opportunity. Now, this is a very unique company. This is Emerald Offshore Incorporated. Now, I decided to pull this investment opportunity and add it to this file simply based off of your affinity for the offshore mining operations. Of course, you are heavily invested in Offshore Diamond Co. Now, Emerald Offshore Incorporated is actually a subsidiary company to Offshore Diamond Co. and is responsible for the largest swath of the overworld's emerald market. So if you can get invested in this, this would be extremely smart because, once again, I do have information that a large submarine mining operation has just been opened up. Off the north coast, exactly. So you've heard of it. Is that what brought you in this evening? I should have known. Now, say no more. What would you like to purchase in terms of shares? We do have a share price of 147.94 emeralds. All right, 500 shares as well. Excellent. So let's just... Perfect. And confirmation. Excellent. All right, well, it looks like I chose wisely for your investments, and, well, I do take pride in being one of the more intuitive investment agents here at the firm, and I like to make sure that I get to know my clientele in a personal manner. That way I can best serve your needs and, of course, add funds to my own pocket as well. Perfect. Well, I always love the fact that we think alike. Now, is there anything else that I can do for you? Oh, the pen. Thank you. What's that? Oh, of course, we will send those order confirmations to your attached. Right. Excellent. So you'll be sent a confirmation letter, and you can then go over all of the details. If you do have any questions, you can call this office, and I'll be dealing with your account personally. Perfect. Well, I will go ahead and get all of that information logged into your account, and please let us know if we can do anything else for you. Day or night. Excellent. All right. Thank you. Well, Paul will see you out, and I hope to be hearing from you very soon. And if I do have any more lucrative opportunities, I will, of course, be in touch. Please, take care. Paul, can you please help our guest to the door? Thanks.